Petal 9, 4 steps. I've outlined 4 steps I use to process trauma and perceived imbalances so I could transform spiritually, raise my vibration, and know that I am my own beloved. The 4 steps are: 1, reveal; 2, feel; 3, heal; 4, rise. Reveal, reveal, reveal. People will do anything, no matter how absurd, to avoid facing their own souls. Carl Jung. Have a holy conversation. Sacred solitude is necessary for step 1. If you never spend any time with yourself, how will you get to know yourself? You're probably thinking that's a silly question. Of course you know yourself. I am myself. You are you, after all. The self I'm referring to is your divine self, your holy self, the non-physical part of you that is mostly who you are. We are multidimensional beings, and part of us exists in 3D linear time and space reality of Earth. This is our human self. But the majority of our being is up in higher dimensions having a grand old time. Don't you want to hang out with that part of you? I never had a best friend as an adult, but received one during one of the hardest, darkest times in my life. She was an angel. I looked up to her. She was incredible. She used to tell everyone I was her best friend, and that made me feel so good inside. However, she got so busy working, dancing, and socializing, I said to her bravely one day, "What's the point in having a best friend if we never spend any time together?" She received my message gracefully and agreed with me. After that, she made it a point to spend quality time with me. The same holds true for ourselves. If we want to develop and nurture a strong, solid relationship with our deep inner self, we need to spend quality time with ourselves. Spending time in quiet, sacred solitude is the perfect time to review, reflect, and recalibrate, or simply just be. This is a great time to talk to yourself. There's a societal belief that people who talk to themselves are cray-cray. Well, I'm officially nuts then, because there are days when the only person I talk to is myself. There's truth in me, myself, and I. Have a holy conversation with yourself, or just ask yourself the question, "Hey, higher self, how are you doing today?" Or, "Is there anything I need to know that would help me, guide me on my path?" And then quiet your thoughts and see what comes through. You might hear nothing at first, then later in the day, a message might filter down when you're least expecting it. In the alpha state of brainwaves, present moment meditation, divine guidance has an easier chance of trickling in. Sometimes trying too hard to hear or receive a message actually blocks it from coming. Overfilling the to-do list and calendar, leaving no time to be alone, can cause physical and energetic drain. It's an avoidance trick of the shadow, who fears change and the unknown. If you want to evolve into your God self and ascend into 5D, you must carve out sacred solitude to do the work. It is in times of sacred solitude that balance is regained. Being alone allows us the opportunity to review, reflect, and confront our actions and examine our inner self. Most importantly, we can dive deeply into ourselves and rediscover the love within. This part of the process requires self-honesty and self-awareness. Ask yourself the question, what patterns keep repeating in my life or my relationships that keep me stuck, closed, and not in my highest joy? Then listen for the answer. My spiritual grandfather. I learned this next gem from Cryon. If you are not familiar with him, he is a light being who loves and supports humanity and has been delivering messages through Lee Carroll since 1989. Cryon has never taken a human body. He is pure God love and wisdom. He's like my spiritual grandfather. I love his messages. I followed Cryon's guidance for myself and took my relationship with myself to a whole new level. Cryon's offering for making first contact with your God self is: sit quietly alone in your sacred space or with your sacred altar. Acknowledge your divinity in whatever way is authentic for you. It could be as simple as, "Hey, God within, how's it going?" I don't think we ever formally or introduced, "I am so-and-so," which obviously you know, duh. You are my divine compass and way home. Let's do this. The point is that it doesn't have to be all formal. It has to come from you in your language and verbiage. I'm constantly having silly conversations with my God self, laughing out loud at some of the things I say, and I know for sure they are laughing with me. I know how quirky I am. After you've made that first connection, now you make your love connection. It's especially important to be authentic or this will not work. Tell yourself, i.e. your divine higher self, that you are sorry you have been unconsciously ignoring them for your whole life, and now you are ready to work in tandem. Then from your heart, tell your higher self that you love them. Simply say, "I love you," with sincerity. You will know you've made this connection when you feel the God bumps or tingling all over your body. This is confirmation. If it's not authentic and you're not saying it with genuine feeling behind the words, it will not work. When I went through this exercise, I cried. Big surprise there. It was so affirming to my soul. It made me feel so much more secure and solid within, yet so light and free. It was like a piece of myself was returned. Once you've made it, there's no going back. You're homies for life and eternity.